Welcome to this information sharing and enlightenment video for Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. So here it is, the most underappreciated mod on FS22. Of course that is my opinion, but don't jump away, don't suddenly think, oh, I've seen this before. Bear with me, because there might be something on here that you'll find useful or you'll be impressed with. So what is this? If you didn't see my mod review when this came out, this is the Big Bag and Support Package by Centro. 3.58 megabytes download. What does it consist of? Well, it consists of these two bags, a seed and a fertilizer bag, and this. This is the Big Bag Winch BH1112G, which you'll find under front loader tools. In essence, it will attach to a front loader vehicle. It will attach to a vehicle with a front loader attached, or you can have it attached to a telehandler or a teleloader, however you refer to it, which is great. And in the past, we've had some of these before in FS19, and they would only attach to the bags they came with, or you might get them to attach to the odd pallet and thing like that. But this goes far beyond that. When I did the mod review of this originally, I did say, because it does come with straps, which was, for me, that changed things a little bit. And I did say on the mod review, I'm sure people will go out and people will try all different things, and I don't know whether people did, but a couple of people reached out to me. This is why I decided to do this video. Massive shout out to Benjamin and Christopher. Thank you very much. They both sent me pictures at different times saying, have you tried this? Now, one thing I did try out, which I'm going to show you in a minute, on my Calmsden Let's Play, and if you don't follow my Let's Plays but just watch my mod reviews, you wouldn't have seen it. But I didn't kind of go any further with it. And I got a couple of pictures from them, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a look and see what else I can get it to work with. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised, a little bit shocked, but it also kind of pushed the boundaries of, if you're doing storylines, you want to be a bit more kind of immersive, and it kind of works. So, this itself, if we go to our bags and you go to big bags, just so, if you haven't seen the mod, here it is. Pioneer seed bag and Corteva fertilizer bag. They come in the pack and they attach with it. If we go up to our tools and we go to front loader tools, right to the very end, there we go, Big Bag Winch. It's £8 nothing too major, it's not too expensive. Options on it, we can have it front loader attacher or telescopic loader, telehandler, and then we can change the main colour to anything on that pallet, which is great. So, as far as attaching to the bags it comes with a front loader vehicle, when we come to the bag, it will give the option to attach. It attaches, off we go, and we can fill our seed and fertiliser into what we're going to do. That's fantastic, that's what it's supposed to do. Let's move that out of the way. With a vehicle with a front loader attached rather than a front loader vehicle, same thing, not a problem. We attach it, off we go, do our thing, and all very lovely. And what's great about it is it tells you down the bottom right, what's in it. 1,500 litres of seed, the other one was fertiliser. Great. Now, it did make me think when it first came out about again, if you followed my channel for any amount of time, you'll know I was a big fan, a big advocate of the Big Bag handler that was part of the CSZ pack by DD Mod Passion, and I used it a lot. It did have its foibles, it did have its problems. If you picked up certain things, it would start flicking around all over the place. Things didn't like it, they would wobble, and sometimes it would catapult your entire vehicle halfway across the map, kind of thing. Now, that's not to say this won't. I haven't reached a point where it has. Sometimes you get a bit of a wobble, but I'll explain why in a minute. Now, obviously, we're aware that production change is a big part of FS22. And with production change, some of the factories are producing quite a lot of stuff. And if you don't like using your pallet forks, or you just find them fiddly and awkward and that kind of thing, or you've got a lot of stuff to move, it works with pallets too. And it works with all pallets, not just these ones. It will work with any of them, all of them. I did the video yesterday about the greenhouses, and it picked up the strawberry pallets, absolutely no problem at all. If you can get it right in the middle of whatever it is you want to pick up, as best you can, and get it to stop moving, it will do that. Up we go, 4 pallets, no problem. Now it's showing down the bottom 4,000 litres. So not only is it working and the straps have gone around everything, it's also recognised that I've got 4,000 litres of flour on here, which I don't think the CSZ ones did. You know, once you got past a certain thing or stuff it wasn't supposed to be used for, it didn't really work very well. You can tilt those back a little bit so they rest against the bit where the bags are supposed to rest against, and if you've got trailers you want to load up or you just want to take them to a sell point, whatever you want to do, off you go, job done. And it works like a charm, especially on a telehandler where you can extend the arm for loading, unloading, and you get to where you want to go, disconnect, job done. Bob's your uncle, so to speak. So it'll work with bags, it'll work with pallets, and it works really well with multiple bags and multiple pallets. Now, when I say multiple, there will be a limit. So if you think to yourself, oh, I'm going to stack up, 30 and see, there will be a limit where it will start to shake, it will start to wobble. But to be fair, unless you go mad, it should be fine. So this is what I did on Calmsden. Logs, it's always one of those things, if you don't like logging, if you don't like the physics of the cranes and the grabs and the log forks and that kind of thing, there have been a few different mods on FS19 that gave you the ability to use straps and that kind of thing. But again, if you got to a point where you had a few logs, the logs would start to jostle. If you remember from FS19, we might be new to the game, you may not have experienced it, they would start to wobble and jostle, and then you could get to that point where if they were really wobbling and jostling, off goes your vehicle across the map kind of thing. Well, tell you what, I have not had that problem at all. Now sometimes, or I say sometimes, most of the time you want to try and find the best centre of gravity you can, so you want to try and get it so they're not all heavy one end. I've got these kind of mixed. What I'll do is try and get it into the middle as best I can, so I can grab all of those. Now obviously it hasn't grabbed those ones, but if you're quick on the trigger, if I put it down there, let's go a little further over, do that again, and now I've got them all. No jostling, no movement, no hassle, no bother. Now I have got a weight on the back, that is the PT30 by Vanquish 081, I think it is. I have found, again, this is what we're talking about, jostling of stuff, the single weight, 1,500 kilo, works brilliantly. You can have a double at 3,000. I find with the double, I have a lot of problems with telehandlers. That thing where you try to reverse and it doesn't want to. You get kind of that jerky motion. It goes forward then backward. And it doesn't. I found that more with the double weight. But again, you may not experience that. You may not have a problem. But when it comes to loading and unloading of logs onto trailers using this, it is an absolute joy. Look how easy. I mean, it's just a pleasure to work with. So it will do logs. It will do bales. Again, you want to try and get it in the middle if you can. I'm not sure if it's going to pick all of these up, but we can certainly try. Let's tip it that way a little bit more. And bang. I didn't quite get the bottom one. Let's go back a little bit. So it's got them all now. There we go. Bales. Not a problem. Off we go with the bales. Load them onto a trailer. Do whatever you want to do with them. Absolutely lovely. Square bales. Again, not an issue. Square bales, I will say though, if you go for stacks of 8s and that kind of thing, I got not jostling, but the actual, it could have been as well. I had the double weight on the back. The telehandler started to bounce, which was a bit peculiar. But strapped up, there's a little bit, see that? It's a tiny little bit of bounce. It's just a case of being a little bit more gentle on the controls, I think. But square bales, not a problem. So as far as I'm concerned, at the moment, not an issue. Actually, I was going to check. Yeah, look, bottom right hand corner, it's even telling me I've got 20,000 litres. Each one of those is 5,000 litres. It's giving me exactly what's in it. That in itself is pretty impressive, aside from the fact we are so far outside the realms of what this mod was intended to do, but it still works with all these other things. Okay, so here's the other thing. And then I started thinking, What about vehicles and machinery? Now, obviously, that has got a ramp on the ramps on the back. But if you've got step deck trailers, or you've got any sort of trailers, and you've got a yard, or you're trying to load a train up, or something like that, and you think to yourself, I wonder, will this pick up vehicles and machinery? Honestly, this boggled me. Bang, up we go. Absolutely no bother at all. Small tractor, no, it doesn't even really notice it. Again, you want to be a little bit careful on the controls. Probably go a little bit slower than I was. I love the fact you even get the little bit of bounce and the suspension moves. Okay, that's loaded. What about... I'll be honest, I haven't tried this yet. So this is fingers crossed on this one. We'll see. Some things you will get to a point, unless you have got that rear weight on, there'll be too much weight. And again, you may get that bouncing or jostling. See, I'm getting that thing again. It's weird, isn't it? That happens sometimes. I suppose because you're pushing the limits of what it's supposed to do, really. Right, let's try. Okay, let's load this on as well. Why not? I honestly, underrated, underappreciated. It's brilliant. It's so good, so useful, and not just for stuff that, you know, when you think, oh, that is incredibly useful, you know, I'll use that a lot. But if you are trying to be a bit more immersive or storytelling, or, you know, whatever it is you want to do, there we go. Strap those down, off you go for a bit of delivery. Fantastic. So, bags, pallets, logs, bales, vehicles, machinery, it knows no bounds. But then I thought, what about slightly bigger stuff? So I've put the double weight on. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Now, obviously, there is so much more stuff. This is, I think, scratching the surface. I was trying to get a mixture of, like I say, bags, pallets, logs, bales, the sort of things, you know, there are all sorts of different sorts of pallets. There's no point trying them all. If they lift pallets, they lift pallets. If it lifts bales, it will lift bales. There may be other things you suddenly think, oh, I wonder. I did try it off screen when I first thought about doing this video, and this was off the back of, I mentioned, again on my Let's Play, when we were driving up to the Lake District and we passed a lorry on the A1 with a trailer with 3 other trailers stacked on top of it. And I thought, I wonder if you could pick up a trailer and put a trailer onto a trailer. No problem at all, did that, no worries. So yeah, what you can pick up, it just doesn't seem to mind. The only downside with this one, I thought I'd try an articulated telehandler. This has got one of the higher horsepowers, I think. So what we'll do is go to there. And obviously the straps don't go round that. So when I say about if you want to be a bit more immersive, you may be of the feeling, well, yeah, but it doesn't though, does it? Because the straps don't go round it. And in real life, the attachment on the thing wouldn't hold the weight, or the straps wouldn't hold the weight. Yeah, I mean, you're probably absolutely right. But as far as... Look at that. Honestly, it's brilliant. Oh, now see, articulated telehandler. Again, this is going to be a take it nice and steady, slow movements, nothing too mad. I just got the feeling if I turn that too much, that's going to tip. There's a lot of weight on that. It's doing something it was not supposed to do, you know, but it's doing it, and I could load that onto the trailer as well if I wanted to. You know what? Let's do it. Let's load it on. What we're thinking so far, come on, there must be something you've thought, you know what, I like that, that's handy, I'll use it for that. For me, it was the login. It was the login that got me, first of all. But also on my cams, and I've got a lot of pallets. Now, I'm aware that there's the 82 Studio TLX Phoenix has now got the auto load for pallets on the rigid back. But if you don't want to use that, it might be that, you know, it's an American lorry and you don't want to use it on a British map. That's fantastic. So then, let's see, shall we? The Massey's a little bit bigger than the Landini. I've got the double weight on the back. If it picks this up, this is the thumbnail. That's what I'm going with. if it picks this up. Right, I don't want to rest on that. Let's do that. Oh man. Now obviously, if I extend that boom, I'm going to reach a point where that's going to start to tip. Oh, where is it? That's crazy. But absolutely. Yeah, there we go. We're reaching that point. Let's bring that boom back down. I don't want to drive too far with that because again, I have to be very, very light on the controls so it doesn't do anything horrible. Let's disconnect that before we start getting anything horrible happen. But there you go. Like I say, hopefully you found something in here you think, you know what, like it. The Big Bag and Support Package by Farm Centro Saw with the Big Bag Winch BH1112G. I hope it's more appreciated now. I hope people start to use it more because it is an incredibly versatile bit of kit, far beyond what I think people think or thought. Even I did when it first came out. So, oh great, another big bag handler. What do you want one of those for? Well, there you go. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.